Hey writer friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Holly. I'm a writer aspiring to be a published author. And in today's video, I will be sharing with you how to find a literary agent. So I am currently an unagented writer. I am going through the querying process right now. I am deep in the query trenches, so I do not have an agent. So this video is not going to be telling you necessarily how to get an agent, but how to find the right agent for you and how to build a query list of agents that you would like to work with. More specifically, I will be sharing with you my process on how I built my agent list. So I'm super excited. I haven't really shared too much about my personal querying process. I kind of kept it on the DL, but I wanted to be more open with what I've been going through, what I've been dealing with, because I've been querying for almost a year now, which is scary and sad, and will hopefully not be for very much longer. But let me know in the comments down below if you'd like to see more about my querying process and any specific video requests you have about querying. So there are a ton of sites where you can research agents and try to find agents that are in your genre. So these sites that I researched are manuscriptwishlist.com, agentquery.com, querytracker.com, publishersmarketplace.com, and of course individual agency websites. You can also find a lot of agents on Twitter. That's actually where I've been finding a lot of people. Anyone who says hey, I've got a book deal or I have an agent now, I'll check out that person. Number one, to see hey, is this a book that I'm gonna be interested in? So I'm Twitter is good at selling things because Twitter can get me hooked. But yeah, so then I'll look at the agent and then I'll go to their website and I'll see, is this an agent that I can query? Is this a new agent? Is this a more experienced agent that I missed? And so I'll do my research, and I've been ending up finding a lot of agents that I think would be a good fit. You can also look at agents of authors and writers that you follow. So even if these agents aren't tagged in a post oh, I just got this agent, a lot of writers and authors have their agent tagged in their bio on Twitter or Instagram. So go ahead and check them out because that's where you can find people. So especially if you have comp titles for your manuscript, then look at the acknowledgements page and look and see who that author is thanking, and they usually mention their agent. They should mention their agent because they're super important. But so they usually mention their agent, and so then you can get an idea of, hey, if they were interested in this book, they might be interested in mine as well. Writer's Digest also comes out with new agents that are coming out. So there's just a whole slew of resources to try to find agents. Now, yes, you can query all of those agents that you find, but you want to find who's the right fit for you. So I'm gonna tell you how I decided to choose the agents that I put on my query list and, what I was looking for. So of course this might be different for you, but it will give you some ideas of things to look for and then just things to watch out for. So of course my number one thing is that I want an agent who I can build a lasting relationship with. I want someone who can help me turn my writing into a career, because being a full-time author is something that I want to do, and I want an agent who's going to follow me and help me and nurture me along that journey. I want an agent who's okay working with debut authors. There's some who, they want to work with more experienced authors, but I want agents who actively say that they're looking for new authors. Another thing that was important to me, but that was not a must-have, is that the agent be an editorial agent. So like I said, that wasn't a, complete thing that I was looking for, but if the agent was an editorial agent, then they got a little extra check mark. But so an editorial agent is an agent who, once they acquire your manuscript, they help you revise and edit your manuscript before submitting it to publishers. Now, once you submit it to a publisher and you get a publishing deal, their editor will then take you through edits. So that's a lot of editing before your book that you have already edited a billion times before you sent it to the agent will go out into the world. But so that's something you have to be okay with. That's something that you have to decide if you want that for yourself or not. The other thing, if you watched my 2020 writing goals that I came out with last week, then you will know that I am interested for my NaNoWriMo novel possibly being a middle grade. I have a lot of middle grade ideas, so I don't just want to write in YA, and I kind of feel like I want to try writing in middle grade this year. So that's something that's important to me, and something I knew last year when I was querying is that I was looking for agents who accept both YA and middle grade. Now that's not like, you know, a deal breaker as well, because if I, you know, have an agent who takes YA and not middle grade, then when I write a middle grade, then I can just query middle grade off agents. But, you know, if my agent would do both, then that's even better. So that's why I decided to look for agents who took both, and then if there were agents that I was interested in who only took YA, I at least made note of that for my records. Now, I also made note of if the agent was experienced or less experienced. It's hard to tell sometimes because usually on an agency's website, they'll just have all of their clients and all of the books, but not necessarily breaking it up by the agent who sold that book. So it could be a little gray area there, but if you check out Publishers Marketplace, most of the time the agents, they list out the books that they have sold. So that's a good way to do it. But another way that I have looked to see that experience, or at least to see like how long they've been working, how many clients they have, is by looking at querytracker.com. You guys, this membership is so worth it. Query Tracker is $25 for a yearly membership, and you get all the details about an agent, how long they take to respond, how many clients they have, how many rejections they give out, how many people they request partial or full manuscripts, how many people they request to offer representation. So it has all of those details, which is like super awesome, especially if you're type A. Even though I'm not type A, I want to know all those details. So I built my list with both experienced and less experienced agents because I'm totally open to both. I'm a less experienced writer and would be a less experienced author, so I am totally open with working with someone whether I'm their first client or their 50th. Like, it doesn't matter to me as long as I feel like they would be a good fit. I also went on the manuscript wish list or checked out the hashtag on Twitter, hashtag MSWL, which is manuscript wish list, and also on an agency's website to look at what those agents are specifically looking for and what are their query materials. So there are some agents who are busier and they want the first 5 pages and your query letter, and like you have to sell them on the first 5 pages, which is like pretty cutthroat, but that's a way for them to be able to respond quicker to you. Whereas there's other agents who want the query letter, 1 to 2 page synopsis, and like the first 3 chapters, which is awesome because I like to like have more to be able to showcase to them because the chapters have different things that they offer. So, but yeah, so you want to look at that too, see like, you know, of course you want your whole manuscript to be strong, but you want to see like who's going to be getting like 5 pages and who's going to be getting 50. So you just never know, but it's good to make note of that so you know what exactly they're looking for. And also, when I first started querying, I did not have my synopsis done, so that's why I specifically looked to see which agents wanted a synopsis, because then I wasn't going to query them just yet because I had everything else ready but that. And then of course I highlighted my dream agents. So this is like kind of weird, you know, to like say this is like a dream agent. And I was like, oh, I'll never have like dream agents, but you kind of do, because there are authors and writers that you admire that you're like, oh, this is their agent. I would love for this agent to be my agent, because like you admire these authors and they're like writing gods and goddesses, and so you're just like, I want to, you know, have this agent be my agent as well. So they're kind of like your dream agents where you're like, seems a little far-fetched, but you never know, it might happen. So I just highlighted that in like a different color on my list, just to make note, or I even put in parentheses like, oh, this is Victoria Schwab's agent, you know, this is Alexa Dunn's agent, something like that, so that I knew a little bit more about that agent. As well, like if I saw any novels in the manuscript wish list that were my comp titles. So for example, there was an agent who loved A Wrinkle in Time, and that's a comp title for the Celestial Code. Then I was like, ooh, I'm gonna make specific note of that because then she might be more interested in TCC. And just a little aside too, as I was building my list, like I made sure to make note of any, you know, names that like, oh, this sounds like a male name, but it's actually a female. So I like made notes so that I didn't make a mistake and say like Mr. or Mrs. when I should say the opposite. Or I made sure to highlight if there was like an accent over a letter, like the E or something, so that I didn't miss that, because, you know, you just want to be safe rather than sorry. You don't want any deal breakers like, oh, they spelled my name wrong, like I'm just going to throw out this query without reading the first line. So you don't want that to happen to you. All right, you guys, so that's it for this video. That's how I built my literary agent list to hopefully find a literary agent. Let me know in the comments down below whether you're looking to self or traditionally publish and where you're at in your process, whether you're drafting, editing, getting ready to query, or if you're currently in the query trenches like me. Please give this video a big thumbs up and click subscribe to support my channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!